Kevin Nash, Triple H, Hell in a Cell. What could possibly go wrong? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, another episode of 10 years ago. Now tonight we're going to be looking at the first brand Pacific pay-per-view, unless you can include Insurrection, or Insurrection last year actually for that matter. But yeah, officially according to WWE, the first brand Pacific pay-per-view in Bad Blood 2003. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to this one. Big buy rate for this one, 385,000 buys. You've got to wonder whether Mick Foley was the helper of that. The Hell in a Cell was the big draw. It's interesting, that one, isn't it? Just a little bit of news before we go on, yeah. In a conference call this month, Linda McMahon called Goldberg a big disappointment, which has got to have sucked, got to piss Goldberg off a little bit. If I'd been on one pay-per-view and been involved in, what, 3, 4, if that, televised matches, and, they were calling me a disappointment, and it's like, I didn't choose for you guys to put a blonde wig on my head, did I? Anyway, should we get on with the pay-per-view? Because there's a lot to get through, believe it or not. So in the opening contest, Rodney, Mack and Christopher Nowinski defeating the Dudley Boyz in a rubbish opener. These guys have been involved in a 1.5-star 6-man match over here in Insurrection. There was a moment on Sunday Night Heat that I actually liked, believe it or not, when Chris Nowinski was he sort of accosted Devon Dudley backstage, and we're talking about all this stuff. Why'd you let the man hold you down? Why'd you let the man hold you down? And Devon was getting vexed about it. But while Devon's holding him up against the wall, Nowinski says, "Why is it always you's got to be the tables?" And the way that Devon just sort of let him go and had to think about it I like that. That was a good little moment. Match was nothing. I mean, there's nothing at all to it. There's utter silence. This is the first thing I noticed in this match, the first noteworthy thing I've noticed in this match here. In the front row, there is a guy dressed up as Pooh Bear, there is a guy dressed up as Tigger, and you're sat looking to yourself like, these two have got together and go, we should dress up to go to the wrestling show. Yes, mate, I like that idea. What should we go as? Well, I'm thinking like everyone who goes to wrestling dresses up as a wrestler. You see loads of people dressed up as Hulk Hogan, and I've got the best idea. I think we should go as Tigger and Pooh. And his mate's gone, that's fucking genius, man. No one will see that fucking coming. And yeah, why not? Match is 7 minutes long. It plays to utter silence. There's a "We Want Tables" chant, which is literally the only bit of noise yet. And not only is it the only bit of noise, but it lasts 2 chants. We want tables. We want tables. As an arena, they all stop after 2. Right, that's enough of that. Very, very amusing. I mean, when Bubba tells Devon to get the tables, Teddy Long gets up on the apron to ask it, why is it going to be you who gets the tables? Devon goes to knock Long off, but Mack knocks him off, right? But then Bubba knocks Mack off. So they all go off through the ropes or over the apron, off the apron, yeah? And each successive one looks worse than the first. This leaves Devon wide open. No, sorry, this leaves Bubba knocks Mack off, turns around, eats a shot from Chris Nowinski's protective mask. Do you remember that? And that's what gets the win, which is nice. But the win comes to silence. The finish is utterly horrendous, yeah? And not only that, but just to show what an insignificant match this was, yeah? There isn't a single replay of any action from the match, not even the finish. There's nothing, because of course we've got to talk about there's more important things on this show than the opening contest, is there not? And that, of course, as we all know, is the Redneck Triathlon. That is more important. Now, part 1 of this is a burping contest. Now, on paper, that may seem like a laugh. Austin, Bischoff, burping contest. Everyone's going to go home happy. But I just can't believe they went through with it. Let me tell you something, Willis, right? My biggest fear as a wrestling commentator is always the same thing. It's either having to call a match that's utter shit, or the one day a company that I work for will do a skit like this, and I will have to sell it. And I've always said this is why I could. Remember how many times I've been on an episode 10 years ago or 1999 Sucks or something like that? I've said on bits, this is why I could never be a commentator. And it's still like my biggest fear inside. Anyway, they show a video from Raw in which shows the order of the triathlon and decided by the big ass wheel from Raw Roulette. Yeah, you remember that one. And so they spin the wheel. And the first part of the triathlon will be a pie eating contest, with more of which later. The second spin reveals a burping contest. So naturally, the burping contest goes on first. Because why wouldn't it? Even though you spent some time on Raw promoting that the pie eating contest will go on first. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, the point is, they have a fake burping contest. They pipe in burps. So you've got Austin doing this, while out of time with the fucking stereo, with the audio that's been piped in. It's awful. You sat there thinking to yourself, man, yeah, I paid for this one. And Austin wins by doing a ridiculously long burp, which is nice, isn't it? On pay-per-view. Then Scott Steiner defeated Test in a meh match to win Stacy Keibler's managerial services. This was a 1-star match at an Insurrection, I'm sure you remember. So expectations are not really that high. The scary moment in this one is Steiner goes to a release Northern Lights suplex. You don't see many of those. Most Northern Lights suplexes are bridged, aren't they? He does a release Northern Lights suplex, and it's scary because he just about gets enough rotation so that Test, when he comes down, he's coming down like that on top of his head. He just manages to get enough rotation so that Test comes down properly, and it's just a scary, scary looking thing. Crowd don't care about this one in the slightest. They only pop when Test gets a chair. He gets the chair, charges at Steiner, Steiner moves, whack, into the ropes, into his face, turns around, it eats a flatliner from Steiner, and that gets the win. Personally, just my opinion, obviously, I would have had Test win this one, because remember, this storyline dragged and dragged. If I remember rightly, these two have another match at Unforgiven, which is in September. And yeah, that's how long this one drags out. And of course, if it was me, I would have had Test win the match here. He wins Stacy Keibler's managerial services. Then you've got the storylines that Steiner's chasing and wants to get the managerial service, wants to get the girl. But no, now you've got the good guy has got the girl, so why continue the feud? I don't get it. Don't get it at all. In the back, Bischoff shows Austin some ladies, and they argue about who can go first. Because it's not a pie, like a short crust pastry mix. No, that doesn't work, does it? It's not like a pie in the traditional sense. It's a pie eating contest in the way that the Rock meant pie eating. So you've got lovely, lovely ladies all sat there, and they're all lovely. Bischoff and Austin argue about who gets to go first. Austin says Bischoff can go first as long as Austin can choose the girl that whose pie he's going to eat. And I smell shenanigans, don't you? Booker T defeated Christian by disqualification in a rubbish match. This was a 2-star match at Insurrection over here, just a week earlier. Match is okay, there's nothing special. After a few minutes of back and forth action, yeah, Booker T has Christian prone for the axe kick, right? Christian bails and decides, fuck it, I'm leaving. Now, as we all know, if he leaves, because he's the Intercontinental Champion, he retains the belt by a countout. But the referee says if he doesn't get back to the ring, he'll not only be counted out, but he'll lose the championship. Now, I'm sat there going, well, that's all good. It means we're going to get, a match finish and all that. But I'm sat there at the same time thinking, well, when did that referee get that much power? Anyway, maybe that's just me. So Christian makes his way back to the ring. And the referee counts mega fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, Christian deliberately clocks Booker T with the Intercontinental Championship. Boof, game over. Just instant disqualification. It's like, damn, that's really bad. Because not only did they tease a shit finish, yeah, with the count out, then the actual finish that we get is even worse. Yay! Match was nothing. Part 2 of the Redneck Triathlon is the pie eating contest. Pie. So Bischoff comes out and he's really happy. Who does Austin choose? But Mae Young. Mae Young. Bischoff says he won't do it. And why would he? Austin says, well, if you do it, you lose by forfeit and the Redneck Triathlon is over. So Bischoff changes his mind, makes out for a second with Mae. And Austin's like, you didn't eat a pie, you just made out with her. So Mae knocks Bischoff down and does the Bronco Buster onto him in the corner. Mae then wants a bit of Austin as well, which is quite funny. She wants a bit of him, but Austin does the right thing, I suppose. He hits Mae with the stunner and then says he forfeits anyway, which is nice. Mae, to her credit, takes the stunner really well. And we have to have a part 3, which is lovely. I love wrestling. It is the best. I paid for this pay-per-view. Happy days. If you enjoyed this, I have to say, good for you, well done. You got to see Bischoff getting ridden by an 80-year-old woman, which I suppose is nice. But it raised a smirk, briefly. But that's about it. And you sat there, this is taking up so much time on a pay-per-view that could be used for, oh, I don't know, what could we use it for? I don't know, some wrestling, maybe? On a wrestling pay-per-view? A promo vid for Gail Kim airs, it looks really good. And then, oh, mate, La Resistance defeating Kane and RVD in just another shit match to win the tag team titles. Kane and RVD have been arguing for weeks leading up to this one. Literally, there is one highlight in this match, yeah? It's a nice DDT by Rene Dupree on Rob Van Dam. That, folks, honestly, is the only highlight in this whole match. Even when Kane gets a hot tag, yeah, there is, because RVD plays your babyface in peril, yeah, Kane gets the hot tag, no reaction, nothing. There is nothing. RVD goes for a plancha to the outside, yeah, which he lands on Kane instead of La Resistance, and this somehow incapacitates him. And I don't understand how that works. In the quasi-wrestling world, please answer this in the comments if you can. If you do a move over the top rope and land on your opponents, that's good. But if you land on your tag team partner, then somehow that's really devastating. RVD doesn't get back up. He's helped into the ring by La Resistance. They hit him with a double flapjack, which gets the win. And you're just like going, really? That's shit? And it doesn't make any sense. And I can't get my head around it at all. Utter rubbish, and it gets our second dud of the evening. And then, in a genuine surprise, and you may be sat there going, shut up, Pearson, what the fuck are you on about when you're listening to this? Trust me, just trust me on this one. Chris Jericho losing to Goldberg, yeah, in a really good match. I remember this match being poo. This match was really good. I really enjoyed it. And let me explain why, okay? So first things first, the build-up to this one was really good. Chris Jericho doing everything in his power to piss Goldberg off. He poured paint on his car, he got Lance Storm to run him over, etc, etc. And the thing is, this, my friends, is what a heel should always do. A good heel does everything in his power to make you want to see the babyface kick the shit out of the heel. And you go into this match going, well, that's what I want. I want to see Goldberg just obliterate Jericho. That's what I really, really, really want to see. It's one of those things, it's fundamental to the business, and it seems like it's one of those things that's missing these days. You know, I'm recording this on the Thursday. This Sunday, it's WWE Payback, yeah? And it's Ryback versus John Cena in the main event. And you don't want John Cena to batter Ryback, because he hasn't done anything, specifically. He challenged into an ambulance match, and that's that. Who cares? Anyway, let me talk about this one. This is actually a genuinely good match, right? This Goldberg owns to the start. He really does. He just, you know, he's using Chris Jericho as a beating thing, as a beating doll, as a rag doll, whatever. I don't care. Point is, he goes for a spear on the outside. Right, he's got Jericho on the outside against one of the barriers. Goes for a spear, spears through the barricade, right? And it's one of those spots. It's all good, yeah. The thing is, Jericho then goes to work on Goldberg's right arm, because that's what he's gone through. He's gone through with the spear. Right arm. Now, bear in mind, he normally does the spear with the right arm. Happy days. Happy days. Normally in wrestling, you work the left. Everyone knows that. In this, because Goldberg's uses the right arm for the spear, it's all good. It really is. I've got no problem with it at all. Crowd are more lively. And like I say, Jericho goes to work on the arm. Whips it into the ring post, for example. Hits a nice arm breaker. What's more impressive than the actual that he's working the arm is that Goldberg sells all of it perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. He goes to use the shoulder tackle, yeah? He uses the left arm. Brilliant. He would normally use the right, he uses the left. Nice little psychology there. It's a nice little touch that I really buzz off. The crowd a lot more lively, like I say. Goldberg goes for a slam that Jericho turns into an arm breaker. Fantastic. He hits a hip lock takedown. Goldberg, you know, as he does the hip lock takedown, sells the arm. Brilliant. No problem with that whatsoever. Goldberg catches Jericho. He's going for the line sort. Again, selling the arm. Spear, but it's on the injured arm. You know, fucking superb. Goldberg sucks chunk, and you know, he gets up, goes to the jackhammer, uses the right arm to pick him up, can't pick him up because the arm's injured. It's just perfect. It's as good as it can get. Genuinely, I'm so chuffed with it. So, was Jericho, but Goldberg counters out of it, hits the spear with the left arm, hits the jackhammer with the left hand. Gets the win. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And that, folks, is my kind of match. That, to me, is Wrestling 101. in a nutshell. Loads of people ask me what Wrestling 101 is. Go and watch this match and you'll fucking see. If you ever hear me talking about psychology and storytelling in wrestling and go, what the fuck are you talking about, Pearson? Go and watch this match. It's spot on. Jesus Christ, I actually don't know what to thingy. What to rate it, because it's perfect storytelling. And just to make it a little bit better, after the match, yeah, remember I told you at the very start of the show, there's a guy dressed in the Tigger thing. He's got a I'm a Jericho-holic sign. So Goldberg goes and gets in his face. Goldberg, the baby face, fucking snaps a little bit and goes and gets in the guy's face. And it's absolutely fantastic. Guys, I'm going to be straight up honest here. This to me is a 4-star match. I've got no complaints with it whatsoever, and that's what I'm going to give it. The third part of the Redneck Triathlon will be a singing contest. Oh yes, I'm really disappointed by this, because they set up a hog pen next to the ring apron. So you're like, you know, sure it can be a hog pen match, surely, but no, it's a singing contest, of course. So, our semi-main is Ric Flair defeating Shawn Michaels in a not too great match, gotta be said. On Raw 1 week, Steve Austin made Triple H defend his World Heavyweight Championship, saying he could choose whoever he wanted. He chose Ric Flair because he figured that Ric Flair would just lie down for him. No problem with that, can you? Backstage, though, Shawn, sorry, an itchy tit. Shawn Michaels told Ric Flair not to lie down for him. They went out, they had a match. It was all right. It was nothing special. The week later on Raw, they had a 20-minute segment where Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels basically kissed each other's arse, basically told each other that they think the respective guy is the best wrestler ever, and it was all like, yes, please get on with it. In the end, Bischoff and Triple H came out. Bischoff made it Triple H versus Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Happy days, but say it with me, because you know what's coming. It was a setup all along. Oh yes, it was, because Ric Flair turned heel. He was already a heel, but he turned heel on Michaels, and they started beating up Shawn Michaels, and then some guy came out in a mask guy. When the mask was taken off, I'm sure you've never heard of him. I'm sure he'll make them out to anything over the next 10 years, and there's Randy Orton. So this was an interesting match for me, because it was surely a dream match. Now, bear in mind that, you know, WrestleMania, a few years later, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair in the retirement match is a big match. This, it just felt like it was another match on a throwaway pay-per-view, to be honest. It wasn't even a very good match, because while there was good storytelling in this one, especially at the start, as Ric Flair spent the first 5 minutes or so working the leg of Shawn Michaels so that he could get the eventual figure 4 that you're thinking later on, but he gets the figure 4 in after 5 minutes. And he got the figure 4 on for a good couple of minutes as well, and Shawn Michaels is really well selling it. And then, of course, Shawn Michaels gets up and completely no-sells the leg for the rest of the match. Don't get it. Randy Orton interfered. He got switching music immediately. In my opinion, I would have saved this match to SummerSlam, and I would have promoted it heavier. But that's just me. I mean, obviously, of course, that meant that Shawn Michaels wouldn't have been able to be in the Elimination Chamber. But come on, work with me here. Yeah, horrible ref bump. Earl Hebner gets squashed in the corner with so lightly that he doesn't bother selling it. It's utterly pointless. Ric Flair goes to do the Flair flop in the corner. Can't do it. Looks pathetic. Really looks sad. Yeah, I remember this match being good, but there literally is no substance to it at all. They've got the storytelling at the start, which is why it gets the rating that it probably does, but there's nothing to it, like I say. And then, oh my god, man. I mean, Flair's put on a table on the outside. Shawn Michaels does a really nice splash where he sort of turns in midair, kind of like Rob Van Dam can do. And then, yeah, they get back in the ring, and Flair does the double low blow, you know, with the back kick one through the legs of the referee and the dude. Yes, the referee goes down. Shawn Michaels no-sells it completely. Hits a flying elbow. Hits switching music. Looks like he's going to get the win, but Randy Orton hits him with a chair, and that means that Flair can get the win. No substance to it at all. Nothing. You can say it's a really good match. You know, once again, this is another one of those times where once again, after I'd finished the pay-per-view, I wrote down my notes and then thought, come on, let's just go and see what some people gave this. I've seen 3.5-star match ratings for this one. No. Part 3 of the Redneck Rubbish is the singing contest. Eric Bischoff comes out first. He mimes his own entrance music, which is good because it means we don't actually get to see it or hear, as it should be, him singing. But Austin appears on the Tron and makes him sing, which is like, oh god, he does. It's terrible. Austin says he can't sing worth a lick, so he's going to spin the wheel again, which is fun, I suppose. It makes the first spin utterly irrelevant, but you know, he spins it and he makes it land on a Pigpen fun match. See, I mentioned the Pogpen. I knew they'd be using something, and you can probably guess what happens with this one. Austin comes out, batters Eric, throws him into the Hogpen. Happy days. Go home happy. 35 minutes of this pay-per-view this took up, at least. Maybe more than that. I wasn't actually I wasn't paying that much attention to it. It was just bad. It was just really, really bad. And lastly, because I've waffled on for way too long here. Triple H defeating Kevin Nash in a Hell in a Cell match to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. One of the things I'll always praise WWE for, right, is their build-up packages. Their build-up package for this match made it look like it was something special when it clearly wasn't. Mick Foley is the guest referee, as I've mentioned before, and yeah, let's play our game. It's the usual one. How many bumps will Kevin Nash take? Always say 4, and that's what we're going for here. They brawl to start. I know you're thinking, what else would 2 brawlers do? But they do. They brawl to start. I'm going with the usual. Foley getting bumped, but he's a manly man. He's not no normal referee. He shrugs it off. They brawl around the cell with Triple H getting back body dropped. Inside, Nash gets 2 off a sideboard slam and an elbow. He unloads with chair shots and then launches the steps at the cage. But Triple H moves out of the way and rams Nash's head into the other steps. He then gets out a hammer, not his sledgehammer, just a regular hammer, and whacks Nash's leg with it and then his head with it. That busts Nash open. Doesn't count as a bump. Foley takes the hammer off and they have a bit of a shoving match. Triple H rams Nash's head into the cell, then gets a screwdriver and sticks it into Nash's head. He then gets a barbed wire 2x4 and uses it, but when he goes to use it a second time, it's blocked so that Nash can get it back. And that busts Triple H open, so there's blood everywhere from both of them. Happy days. Actually, no, I've got to say, Triple H's blade job's pretty decent. Nash's is just really, really tough. Really, really cool. Nash then picks up Triple H, hits snake eyes onto the barbed wire. He put 2x4 that he put in the corner. Nash gets the steps, but a fan. Nash gets the steps, yeah. There's a fan holding a big lazy sign right behind him. Superb. Not just me doesn't like him. Triple H gets a wooden box. Uses it, which is nice. Wooden box. Wow. He gets a sledgehammer, Foley takes off him. Triple H isn't happy about this and decks Foley. Picks up the steps, but Nash trips a drop toe hold. So Triple H goes face first into them. Chair shots from Nash. Chair shots from Foley, which busts Foley open, and his is the best blade job of the 3 by country mile. Yeah, he gets no, but Foley, to his credit, no sells the chair shot. I have taken 100 chair shots this year. Let's do some more. Pulls out Socko, uses Socko. Happy days, but a low blow stops it. Step shot by Nash, but Foley is still down. He pulls himself up on the apron, but is knocked off into the cell in a great looking spot. Really like that one. Pedigree is countered. Triple H is launched into the 2x4 again because it's still on the corner. Jackknife gets the biggest pop of the match so far, but there's no referee, obviously. Only gets 2, and then a pedigree, and that's the only bump of the match. Gets the win. Match was all right. Nothing special, not the worst Hell in a Cell I've ever seen, but very far away from being the best, let's put it that way. They did their best, I suppose. It's a 2-star match, in my opinion. Like I say, Kevin Nash took 1 bump. Yay. I mean, infinitely better than Judgment Day, I'm sure they agree. There's a 2-star match, a 1.5 star, but there's still 2 duds, but it's not as there's lots of duds and a minus star figure match at Judgment Day, wasn't there? So I mean, it's better than that. I mean, if you wanted to be really nice, you could give it a 4 out of 10. Seriously, if nothing else, if you've not seen it before, go and watch that Goldberg versus Chris Jericho match. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by it, especially if you watch it in the context that I watch it in the psychology, the storytelling, the working of body part, focusing on a body part, selling that body part. I enjoyed that match a lot. The main event was all right. Flair versus Michael should have been so much better than it was. Booker T versus Christian should have been so much better than it was. This was a missed opportunity, in my opinion. This could have been a great show, and it just wasn't. So I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of Bad Blood 2003? Of course, the next in the series is Vengeance 2003, which I know a lot of you are looking forward to, because I remember that show being absolutely fucking brilliant. Can't wait to watch that one. Yeah, I've been Mark P. This has been 10 years ago. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a comment below, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, guys.